Crouse. Now, just when I was ready to declare the romantic comedy genre dead, along comes a movie that makes me believe that there is some life left in the old boy meets girl storyline. The Switch, a new rom-com starring Jennifer Aniston and Jason Bateman as best friends who, and here's a surprise, might have some unresolved feelings for one another, doesn't exactly cover a lot of new ground, but it covers the old ground in a pleasing, interesting way. Dear friends, it's not time to write that romantic comedy eulogy just yet. Now, at the beginning of the movie, Wally, played by Bateman, is described as a beady-eyed man-boy. That's a pretty apt description, although it leaves out insecure, hypochondriac, and loner. His best friend Cassie, played by Jennifer Aniston, is a network television producer with, quote, gorgeous cervical mucus, desperate to have a baby even though she is single with no prospects of a boyfriend, let alone a husband. Wally offers his services, but she declines. She wouldn't know good sperm if it slapped her in the face, offers Jeff Goldblum, Wally's pal from work. She eventually settles on Roland, a married but genetically blessed donor. On the night of the artificial insemination, Wally, who doesn't approve of the whole thing, gets blackout drunk and makes a switch. Cut to 7 years later. Cassie and son Sebastian, played by Thomas Robinson, return to New York after living in Minnesota. Wally's memories of that night are foggy at best, but the more time he spends with Sebastian, the more he is convinced that he is the father. The problem is that Cassie is more interested in striking up a relationship with Roland, the man she believes is the boy's biological or seed dad. Now, The Switch has much in common with other romantic comedies. It shares the same kind of predictable plot, the New York setting so crucial to rom-coms, and the convention of the wacky friend. Jeff Goldblum is a wildly eccentric presence here, but it makes it worth staying right to the end of the movie to hear a snippet of his bebop piano version of Happy Birthday. What's missing is the shiny gloss of most other romantic comedies. Despite the kind of outlandish plot, The Switch feels like maybe there are actually some real emotions involved here instead of the usual rom-com faux feelings. For instance, in the final reveal, and there's no spoilers here, but you can likely guess what it is. There is no sappy music trying to manipulate us into feeling a certain way. Instead, there are believable characters in a slightly unreal situation behaving the way that real people might. The tears look genuine, and unlike most romantic comedies, they aren't always tears of joy. Call it an art house rom-com if you like. But if all romantic comedies were this good, the idea of going to see people fall in love at the movies wouldn't be quite so odious. This is considerably more charming than, say, The Backup Plan, the J-Lo movie from earlier this year that covered some of the same ground as The Switch, and it is mostly because of the actors. Aniston and Bateman are compelling and watchable, but it is Sebastian, played at different ages by brothers Thomas and Bryce Robinson, who is the bow on the package. His, or I guess their, deadpan performance is both hilarious and touching. The Switch is much better than it has to be and gives me hope that romance isn't dead in Hollywood.
Crouse.